By the end of this video, you'll have all the tools you need to play Can't Help Falling in Love with You. We'll keep it super simple in case you're in a rush for your date tonight, or if you want to stick around, I'll show you how to play a super easy, super romantic fingerstyle version if you're looking to impress. Let's talk about chords. We start simple with C, E minor, and A minor. When you play those three, your middle finger doesn't have to move off of the D string at all. Leave it there the whole time. After that, D minor. You can use your pinky or your ring finger for this D minor, whichever is easier, and if it doesn't feel easy at all, just leave off this pointer finger, play 3 strings, and it's still gonna sound great. It's D minor, C, G. When we have that group of A minor to D to C, look at your middle finger and your pointer finger. They're staying on the same frets and just changing strings. You can move them as a group. This big F bar chord is what usually trips people up, but here are 2 secrets. 1, you don't even need to play an F chord here. You could play another D minor, and it would still work. F and D minor do the same job in this song, so just pick either one. The other thing is when you play an F bar chord like this, it's not telling you that you need to play all those 6 notes. It's just telling you that that's 1 note on each string that would sound good. You can play 1 note, just the low bass note with your pointer, or you could play 3 strings. Or my favorite bang for your buck, if you can't do the full bar, is to use 4 fingers. Pointer on E 1st fret, ring on A 3rd fret, pinky on D 3rd fret, middle on G 2nd fret. Those sound beautiful, and you keep the melody of the song at the top. F, G, A minor. You can play the full G and the full A minor chords if you want, but it's gonna sound even nicer if you leave off this high E string. Listen. You actually keep the melody of the song in that. Finally, we're going to end with D minor, C, G, C. If you want to sound super fancy with it, play your D minor. And then when you go to that first C, instead put your ring finger down on the E string 3rd fret. It's the same note as you're about to play in your G chord. That's how we do it classically. That's it for the first section. Now let's look at the second part. It's mostly E minor and B7. For E minor, use your middle finger and your ring finger. That way your middle finger can actually stay put when you go to that B7 chord. If you can't play the full B7, you don't need to do the pinky part. Just ignore that string entirely. Play everything up through the B string. After 3 times through your E minor and B7, you'll need E minor again, to A7. You can use the same fingers, middle and ring. Just keep them lined up on the same fret, to D minor 7, and G. If you're having trouble switching between chords, I made a video fixing all of that. It's a deep dive, and you can click it up here on the screen if you want. That's it. That's literally all the chords. Usually you'll play the A section once, then the B section, and the A section again, but do whatever you like. It's your song. Let's put the chords together and see how it sounds with singing. If this range doesn't fit your voice, just throw a capo up somewhere until it does. Elvis originally did this in the key of F, which would be capo 5. You can try that if you've been singing along with an old Elvis recording. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. And then you just do the first part again. If you're looking to keep it really simple, just stop there. It is enough to strum each chord 1 time while you sing. This song allows that. If you wanted a little bit more motion in your strumming, just add a simple down-up before each chord change. Take my hand, Now let's talk about finger picking, and believe it or not, it's actually going to make your left-hand chord changes easier. I'll tell you why in a second, but if you haven't watched it, I have a deep dive in finger picking technique that'll show you everything you ever need to know, and I'm linking it on screen right now. You can also check down in the description, or I've got a link to a guide that I made to help you practice your own finger picking technique. Check that out if you like. Making your own finger picking part is super simple. To keep it as simple as we can, start by putting your 3 fingers, pointer, middle, and ring, on the lowest 3 strings of the guitar, the G, B, and E strings. And your thumb is just going to bounce between the bass note of every chord that we play. So for C, for example, I'm going to put my thumb on my A string, and then my other 3 fingers on G, B, and E. Here's why it makes the left-hand parts easier. You'll notice I don't have any fingers playing my D string. That means that I don't even need to use this left-hand middle finger. Now I'm going to go to E minor next. My thumb moves down to the E string, and because of that, I don't need any fingers at all for E minor. I'm not playing either of these. When we get to the F, G minor, A, you need to pay a little bit of attention to aiming, but it's not very hard. For the F chord, we're just going to hit the 4 strings that we decided to play. And if you used less than 4 strings, you can just use 3 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger, whatever you want. It's so quick that no one's going to notice it. For the G, we actually want to change. Instead of leaving our fingers on the top 3 strings, leave them on the D, G, and B strings. And then same thing for the A minor. That's going to make the melody sound a little more coherent. Listen. And then back to the same thing as before. For the B section, we're going to keep our thumb on the low E string for our E minor chord, and we are going to change one thing. Our right hand is going to move one set of strings closer to our head, like we did at the end of the last section. That means pointer's on D, middle on G, ring on B. You'll see why in a minute. For your E minor chord, we're now going to put our pointer finger on this D string 2nd fret as our chord. And that's going to make it so that when we move to our B7 chord, all we have to do is slide that pointer finger to the left. And now we're already set up for the middle to go on A string fret 2 and ring to go on G string fret 2. And now we've got a beautiful and easy B7 chord. E minor, B7. Again. And then next we need E minor to A7, D minor 7, and G. Once you've practiced playing your finger style stuff with just your block chords like we just did, it's actually really easy to turn it into a fancier part. What I would do if I were singing personally is either just play thumb, index, middle, ring. Take my hand, take my whole life too. And all I'm doing, my left hand already learned where it needs to go when we learned the chords. My right hand already learned how to aim when we played them as block chords. All I'm doing now is separating each finger, and it becomes a whole lot easier. There's actually one other trick that happens now too. This is different from strumming. When we strum, all of your fingers have to go down at the same time on the left hand, but when you finger pick, they don't have to. You can set each left-hand finger on the string right before it's needed. It makes your changes yet a little bit easier. But there's one finger picking pattern that I absolutely love for this song, and it's thumb, index, middle, ring on the way up, and then we just go backwards. Middle, ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It gives that beautiful slow dance, lilting feeling. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. B section. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Then we do the beginning again. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with. And right here, instead of playing the C, here's what we do. Go to A minor, and then do the whole last phrase again. Falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. You got this.